Throughout history, those who have truly understood power have recognized that influence is not solely about speaking, but about mastering the art of silence. The greatest leaders, strategists, and manipulators have always known that words, when used recklessly, can be liabilities. In contrast, well-placed silence can create uncertainty, project confidence, and force others to reveal themselves. The art of withholding information is as vital as the art of persuasion, if not more so. The ability to remain silent when necessary is a hallmark of those who command true authority. Those who constantly speak reveal not only their thoughts but also their insecurities. The silence of a composed individual unsettles those who lack confidence. People often rush to fill the void, disclosing their inner workings without realizing it. This psychological phenomenon is not new, it has been leveraged by rulers, negotiators, and tacticians for centuries. Silence creates tension, and in that tension, those who cannot bear it will expose their weaknesses. The one who speaks less controls the direction of the conversation and, ultimately, the power dynamic. The misconception that dominance is demonstrated through words leads many to believe that talking incessantly establishes authority. The reality is quite the opposite. Control is shown through restraint. Those who possess true power do not feel the need to explain themselves at every turn. They understand that revealing less grants them leverage. When someone speaks too much, they are giving away valuable insight into their mindset, intentions, and vulnerabilities. A measured response, or none at all, forces others into a position of uncertainty in submission. Information is currency in any domain where power is at stake. Those who control information control outcomes. Loose speech disperses this currency without return, while strategic silence allows one to accumulate it. Many fail to realize that in any conflict, whether political, corporate, or personal, knowledge is ammunition. A reckless tongue gives away strategy, while a reserved mind gathers intelligence. Silence, then, is not merely the absence of words, it is the presence of calculation. A leader's ability to withhold information can dictate their success or failure. Every word spoken is a move made, and moves made without forethought can be disastrous. Silence serves as a buffer, allowing for analysis and ensuring that words, when finally spoken, carry weight. A person who speaks sparingly forces others to pay closer attention when they do decide to speak. Their words carry more value, simply because they are not readily dispensed. This is a principle that has been applied in politics, warfare, and business for centuries. 257. Those who learn to embrace silence as a strategic tool develop an upper hand in any power struggle. It is not merely about being quiet but about utilizing the absence of words to create presence. The ability to remain silent in key moments is a skill that can dismantle adversaries. It leads to an aura of mystery, and mystery breeds respect or fear, both of which serve as instruments of control. People fear the unknown, and an individual who does not readily expose their thoughts remains an enigma, unpredictable and thus dangerous. The human tendency to over-explain stems from a need for validation. However, the most powerful figures in history have never sought validation through words, they have let their actions, their calculated silences, speak for them. Power is not about being the loudest voice in the room but about being the most significant presence. And a significant presence does not require an excess of words. When others do not know what you are thinking, they cannot anticipate your actions. This makes you formidable, as unpredictability is a formidable weapon. Silence also serves a purpose beyond mere defense, it is a tool of manipulation. When used correctly, it can provoke anxiety in those who expect an immediate response. People are conditioned to fill gaps in conversation, often to their detriment. A well-timed pause can be more impactful than a well-crafted sentence. It forces the other party to act or speak first, often in a manner that gives away their position. The more someone reveals, the more they can be manipulated, and nothing compels revelation more than an intentional silence. Throughout time, great tacticians have understood that the key to controlling a narrative is knowing when not to contribute to it. This principle applies to politics, business, and even personal interactions. Impatience is a liability. Those who rush to speak often do so without considering the repercussions. The most powerful individuals are those who let others talk themselves into corners, revealing too much while they, in contrast, remain composed and unreadable. A well-placed silence is often mistaken for wisdom. Those who listen more than they speak are perceived as having greater knowledge, not necessarily because they do, but because their restraint suggests it. The power of silence is not just in what it conceals but in the weight it gives to the words that eventually follow. People take seriously those who do not speak unless necessary. On the other hand, those who talk excessively devalue their own words by making them too abundant. In the realm of influence, every spoken word is a potential liability. Silence is the tool of those who prefer control over chaos, calculation over impulse. It allows one to dictate the pace of a conversation, to maneuver interactions strategically, and to let others reveal their own intentions before revealing one's own. The greatest leaders in history have not been those who spoke the most but those who spoke the most effectively, often after prolonged silence. The world today seems to have forgotten this principle. With the rise of social media and constant communication, people share their thoughts without restraint. They expose their plans, their opinions, their vulnerabilities, all without considering the cost. In an era where attention is the currency, people mistake visibility for power. But true power does not come from constant exposure, it comes from selective revelation. Silence, when used wisely, remains one of the most potent weapons in any struggle for control. A person who understands the value of silence will always hold an advantage over those who do not. A well-timed pause can dismantle an argument, create discomfort in an opponent, and shift the dynamics of any conversation. Those who master silence do not need to prove themselves with words. Their very presence is enough to command attention and respect. They are the ones who dictate the terms of engagement, not by speaking first, but by waiting for the right moment to do so. True strategy is about understanding when to act and when to wait. This applies not only to battlefields and boardrooms but to every interaction in life. Silence gathers information, cultivates mystery, and exerts control. It is the mark of those who are not desperate to be heard but confident enough to wait until their words will have the greatest impact. Those who speak sparingly are often the ones who hold the most influence. The real question remains, do you control your words, or do your words control you? In a world where noise is constant, those who understand the power of silence will always have the upper hand. Power is not in the need to be heard but in the ability to make others listen. Are you willing to wield silence as a tool, or will you continue to speak without strategy?